Hey Jamie, how's it going? We are live.
Hey, hey, John. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
too.
nice to be here today.
Yeah, just share. I'm going to be leaving Jamie and leaving talking tennis in his capable hands. But just before I do, just give me a thought or two on this match and a prediction.
Yeah, should be a good one. I mean, Struff's been going really well, hasn't he? Came through qualifying, so he's got 5 wins in a row. Having said that, I think you still have to kind of favour Rublev. So I'm gonna go for Rublev in two tight sets. How about you,
Okay,
John?
I thought you were going to go three.
No, I've gone two.
Yeah, I agree with you about Struff, but I watched his match yesterday against Casper Ruud, and he was
Hmm.
sensational for 90% of the match, and then he just fell apart at the end where he couldn't close it out on 2 occasions. And Casper Ruud took advantage. Admittedly, Casper Ruud did play some inspired tennis, but he was eating up Casper's serve for most of the match, and
Hmm.
Casper couldn't live with him. I do wonder, though, do you think that maybe having qualifiers, etc., can give you a small advantage in terms of the circumstances, etc.?
It can, I guess, right? Because you're kind of a bit more. Absolutely, you're kind of a bit more. You've got a bit more rhythm, I guess, a bit more momentum behind you. But having said that, it could also play against him, right? Because he's got 5 matches behind him. Came through a tight one with Ruud yesterday, as you say. So, fatigue might potentially play a role because I guess Struff is not necessarily used to going this far in tournaments. So, yeah, it might work again. It might work for him, but it might work against him. I think if it goes to a third, potentially might work against him today.
He's certainly been on fire so far. Good morning, by the way. We've got a little message here. I'll stay with us until the actual match starts.
Hmm.
So you've got something. It looks like Rublev is just receiving the ball. So perhaps is he about to serve? Perhaps I'll just turn my TV on actually, which is not the
Um,
most professional of beginnings for my part. I must say, I've just turned
it
the
looks
TV
like
on.
it's about to start. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're about to go.
So yeah, I'm going to go for Rublev in three. I will be around, Jamie. So just send me a WhatsApp if there are any technical issues. But other than that, enjoy the match. And if Struff plays it like he did yesterday, he could even win. But I'm going to stick with Rublev.
Perfect. Cheers, John.
Cheers.
So first point of the match there, it's Rublev with a double fault. So we're at love 15. First point of the first quarterfinal of the day. Rublev against Struff. Big serve from Rublev there. Gone cross court with a forehand. Into a rally here, and Rublev nets a forehand. So we're at love 30. Solid start from Struff. Immediately applying pressure to the Rublev serve. And this is exactly what, if you just heard what John was just saying there about Struff applying a lot of pressure to the Casper Ruud serve yesterday. Into a rally again. Cross-court forehand from Rublev goes long. So straight away, not even a minute played, guys. It is 3 break points for Jan-Lennard Struff. First quarterfinal of the day. 3 more to come after this. We've got a long day of tennis in store for you guys. The rally again, cross court. Oh, and a forehand into the net from Struff. He started aggressively. 15-40. John said, who's your tip for the tournament? You're going for Sinner. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's an open draw, I would say. I mean, I probably would maybe give the edge to Tsitsipas. I mean, obviously he's defending champion, isn't he? 2 years in a row. I'd probably go Tsitsipas, though. He does have a tough one against Fritz today. Okay, so we're into a rally here. It's 15-40. Cross court and it's into a rally. Both sort of trading forehands from the baseline. Forehand cross from Struff, and it's a fantastic winner. And he has broken in the very first game. 1-love to Struff. Yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, saw that Novak lost yesterday. Yeah, Mazzetti, very kind of, from what I saw of it yesterday, let me know, guys, if that was the case. It was quite an up and down performance from Novak, right? There was a lot of breaks of serve yesterday. And Mazzetti came out on top. finally putting to bed the ghosts of that match at Roland Garros a couple of years ago when he famously retired for the fans. Thank you, John. Yeah, some real breaking news here from John in the comments. Of course, John can remember the days of Fred Perry, so even Bjorn Borg retiring must seem quite recent. So yeah, great, really good start here from Struff, and he's a break-up. First game, they're very early days. He's actually got a good record in Monte Carlo. Actually, Struff. This is his third time in the round of 16, and his second time that he's made it as a qualifier. Not sure if even John knew that, had that knowledge. So I've got a tweet here from Scott Barkley saying Rafa could withdraw from the French Open and I'd still have him as favourite for the French Open, to be honest. Yeah, I see where he's kind of coming from. I mean, even now the conversation, right? If Rafa hasn't played for 4 months, he hasn't kind of played injury free for such a long time, has he? Probably since I don't know. I mean, certainly since Wimbledon last year, he's been extremely hampered. But even still, the conversation is, if he plays at the French, can you rule him out? You can't really rule him out, but he just hasn't played, prolonged tennis for such a long time that it really would be hard to sort of pick him, even if he were fit. We're at 15:30 here on the Struff serve. So Rublev immediately applying pressure here, applying pressure back on the German serve. Nets his first serve. Struff went first serve up the tee. And Rublev went big on the second serve return, but he hit it out, and already a slight bit of kind of inward aggression from Rublev, shall we say. He's already got slightly annoyed with himself there. We may see a bit more of that if this kind of match continues in a similar vein. So Struff has pulled it back 30-all. The winner of this match plays against the winner of Fritz and Tsitsipas later on today. We might well have a repeat of the 2021 final between Tsitsipas and Rublev in the semi-final. Break point here from Rublev to break straight back. So we might be beginning this first quarter final with 2 consecutive breaks of serve potentially. Head to head there between Struff and Casper Ruud. So Casper Ruud yet to register a victory against Struff. Just see this break point. Serve and volley from Struff, and the volley goes long. Poor touch on the volley there, and it is 1 game apiece. Matthew saying that his tip was Zverev. Okay, so he's not sure who to pick. I mean, I think it was sort of slightly surprising for me that Medvedev came through that yesterday against Zverev. Obviously we all know kind of Medvedev's feelings about clay, but he can play on the surface. He really can. He's posted some good results, and Zverev's still working his way back right as well after that injury. It's an open draw now for sure. Holger Rune will fancy his chances as well, I think. Trying to put some form together, got a good win against Dominic Thiem. Had a walkover yesterday, that might well play into his, it could go great return there from Struff to get it to 15-0. That could go either way for Rune, couldn't it? It could be that, he's kind of the day off might work against him, might work for him. I think if he goes deep in this, it might actually kind of play to his advantage, potentially having that extra day with Berrettini withdrawing from the event yesterday. Going back to that record between Struff and Ruud, I think looking at the head-to-head, Struff had posted a win against Casper Ruud in 2017, I think, in Monte Carlo as well. So that would have been kind of, very, very early days of a Casper Ruud's career there. Not sure where that second win came in, but yeah, interesting that it's 3-0 in Struff's advantage there against Ruud. He's had some really good. I'm just seeing sort of Rublev looking like he's going to hold comfortably here, which would be the first hold of the match. Great backhand down the line there from Rublev, which Struff has returned, but Rublev finishes off close to the net, and it's 2-1. Yeah, decent start from both players. Slow start from Rublev in the first game, but he seems to have got into his stride a bit now. Yeah, Matthew just saying here, it's nonsense that people buy into Medvedev's spiel about being a hard court specialist. Modern tennis, if you're a top ranked player, you'll be very good on all surfaces. Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's kind of, this is where probably tennis differs a lot, doesn't it, from the last 20 years, where there really were those kind of, those sort of specialists. I mean, we had Gustavo Kuerten, didn't you, winning a few Roland Garros titles, and then kind of not really, being able to perform on most of the other surfaces. Whereas now, as you say, it's kind of it's usually the case that the top players figure the surfaces out. And I do think Medvedev is improving a lot on clay, actually, and I think it kind of works he maybe feels like it works to his advantage, right? Kind of really playing on this kind of clay court weakness that he likes to say that he has. Of course, he's not as good as he is on hard court, but he can play on clay, and he's posted some good results. KC liking your pick, John, saying that the Sinner pick is looking good. John also saying that he hasn't seen a touch that heavy since I saw you play, Jamie. Obviously, hasn't seen me play for a while, John. I do notice that some of those videos that you post of yourself playing, probably, kind of picked out very carefully just to highlight your few strengths. that's harsh. So yeah, we're on serve here. It's 1-2 with Struff serving. I'll check out that tweet in a moment after this point. So going backhand to backhand here, and Struff nets a backhand. Simon Chambers saying that Djokovic had some issues in practice in Monte Carlo before the event began. Hard to know how it is, but it's not often he gets broken 8 times. Absolutely, yeah. He did look as though he was kind of struggling a bit yesterday. When Mazzetti was serving for it, I think looked like Mazzetti was kind of getting a bit tight, making some errors. Novak hit an outrageous backhand pass. At that moment, maybe he thought the momentum was swinging and that Djokovic would take it, but Mazzetti was able to come through that. Aggressive play here from Rublev, and he finishes it off, and it's love 30. So Rublev really building on this momentum that he's been able to build since that first game. If Medvedev meets Sinner, would you back him to continue to be a nightmare for Yannick? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that would be kind of potentially semi-final as well, right? If they both come through that. So yeah, I think Medvedev can certainly hurt Yannick on this surface, and that would be an interesting game. Mind you, Medvedev has to come through a really tough one against Holger Rune today, doesn't he? I would back Rune to come through that, but it would be that would be a good one. That's probably the one that I'm sort of looking forward to most today, I would say, out of all the quarterfinals. Which one have you got your eyes on, guys? Which one are you picking out as potentially the one to watch today? By the way, Rublev has 3 break points here. And it's a second serve, I believe, as well. So Rublev looking to go break up. So forehand down the line from Struff, big forehand, and he saves one of them. So yeah, playing aggressive here, Struff, and it's paid off for him early on in the first game, less so in the last couple. He's under pressure here. Big serve +1 there from Struff. 15-40. Big ace right down the tee from Struff. One more to save. Good serving there from Struff. Final of the 3 break points here for Rublev. Struff's already saved 2 of them. A big return from Rublev. Struff still in it though. And Rublev nets the backhand. Really, really good return from Rublev. Struff did really well to get it back actually in a difficult position, but Rublev will still be disappointed with that unforced error. We're at deuce here. Matthew saying, am I right in saying that Madrid and Rome are extended tournaments this year? I'll have to double check that actually, Matthew. Just wondering if Novak, with any injury concerns, would be able to get more rest days during rounds. Yeah, let me have a look. I think that does sound right to me. I think they are both extended tournaments. I'll confirm that in a moment. It's a serve and volley from Struff, and again it's a poor volley at the net, and it's gone long for another break point for Rublev. Just getting the Madrid Masters. So let me know in the comments, guys, if any of you know. It looks like it is 24th of April to the 7th of May. So it's extended Masters in Madrid, and also in Rome as well, from the 8th to the 21st. So yeah, that could be a factor potentially, couldn't it? As you say, Novak getting a few more rest days. And Struff has gone long with the forehand. Slightly unfortunate there, it clipped the top of the net. But Rublev breaks again, and he's up a break now in the first set, having been down a break. Good turnaround from Andrey. By the way, we're flying through these games as well. 14 minutes gone, 4 games already. Yeah, I think, Matthew, that could be a factor, couldn't it? I mean, I guess, Novak has not played well, has he, in Monte Carlo, I believe, for quite a few years now. So it's not like he, the last few years we've sort of seen, kind of him really sort of hitting his stride in this tournament. So yeah, it may just be a bit of nothing too major for Novak, and be interesting to see if he plays in. I'm sure he won't play in Barcelona, will he? I'm sure the next time we'll see him will be in Madrid. But yeah, Rublev up 30 love here. Oh, yeah. I think the screen there is just slightly ahead. So big second serve return there from Struff. Backhand winner. It's 30-15. Big serve there from Rublev. Big forehand down the line. Forehand cross court from Struff goes long. That's 40-15. Rublev looking in charge at the moment. He's looking comfortable. Okay. Matthew saying that Novak will play Bosnia next week. Okay, so he's down to play that into. Okay. So the next time we see him, won't be in Madrid. Okay, so he'll be playing next week. Let's show that comment from Matthew. And second double there from Rublev. Big serve from him, and the Russian is 4-1 up, flying through the games here. I know that I've got to run at 12 today at midday, but I've still got an hour and a half left. But looks like Rublev has got that memo and is trying to ensure that I'm able to see the whole match out with you guys. 4-1 up already, looking comfortable. So yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, who your picks are for the tournament. John's going for Sinner, which looks like a good pick. I think Matthew in the comments certainly agreed with that. I'm going to stick with Stefanos to get a hat trick of titles. clay court season comes around, and we normally start to see the best of Steph, don't we? Even though there has been kind of, no real sort of form or anything for him since the Aussie Open. It might well cost him in the latter stages of this, but I'm still going to go for Steph. Tough game today against Fritz, but yeah, winner of that one to play the winner of Rublev and Struff, by the way. And then we've got Medvedev against Rune later, followed by the all-Italian clash of Yannick Sinner against Lorenzo Musetti. So yeah, as I was saying, Struff's got a good record here actually. It's at Monte Carlo. Second time that he's reached the round of 16 all the way from qualifying, which is some going. He's won 5 matches in a row, which certainly very difficult to do on the ATP tour. At some tournaments that it's enough to get you a title. So he's been in good form, and he's done it twice. So he certainly knows his way around the Monte Carlo country club. Struff serving at 1-4 though. He needs to find his rhythm again here. Slow start from him. Really big forehands here from Rublev, really taking charge of these rallies. Fantastic play from him, pinning Struff back to the back of the baseline. Struff's got absolutely no answer at the moment. Forehand really, really firing for Andrey Rublev. Looking for a double break here, which would be a third break in a row, actually, of the match. And that's a fantastic return off a first serve as well from Rublev. Wonderful. Of course, Struff hasn't actually held in the match so far. He's just got the first break in the first game. Unplanned paddle later, yeah. Looking forward to that. It's great. It's becoming absolutely huge in the UK, actually, paddle. But as John will know, I've been across that game for some time. I actually played, first of all, for the first time paddle probably about 10 years ago in Spain, and I just absolutely loved it. Didn't really get the chance to play very much since then, but it's really, really growing in popularity now. In the UK especially. I think I read an article the other day saying there were 150 paddle courts in 2021 in the UK, and by the end of this year there'll be 400. So yeah, really growing in popularity. But I'm somebody who believes, let me know in the comments, but I think there's space for all of these racket sports, isn't there? I don't see it kind of being a threat to sort of tennis, really. Double fault from Struff, by the way, there. And we've got 15-40. Chance for Rublev to go a double break up. And surely these are essentially set points here, you would think, right? John just showing off his knowledge there. Rublev was a finalist in Monte Carlo, beating Rafa in the quarters. Right, yeah, absolutely. Lost to Tsitsipas, didn't he, in the final there? It's going to see this point. Cross-court backhands, trading backhands at the moment. And it's a slice from Struff. It's a down the line from Rublev. He nets the forehand. Change up from Struff actually worked there with the backhand slice. A bit of change of pace. Paid off. Still with the one break point remaining though, Rublev. So yeah, former finalist here, Rublev will be hoping to at least repeat that this year. The first serve has gone long from Struff. Rublev waiting for the second serve. Rublev returns it with a great backhand. Defensive shot from Struff, down the line forehand from Rublev. Cross court now. We're into a rally, extended rally. Forehand cross court from Rublev. Struff stays alive, but he doesn't there. And Rublev breaks yet again. Struff has no answer at the moment to the Russians' powerful forehand. And he's 5-1 up in this first set and cantering at the moment to a place in the semi-finals. neither of us saw this coming, right, John? I think in the pre-match predictions, John went for Rublev in 3. I went for Rublev in 2 tight sets. At the moment, this is anything but tight. Some news here, John. Breaking news is that Rafa's pulled out of Barcelona. Gosh, okay. Let us know your reaction in the comments there. Yeah, that's big news. Yeah, I mean he pulled out this week, and now he's pulled out of Barcelona. So it's his next potential tournament then would be Madrid, wouldn't it? But he's obviously still struggling, isn't he, with this injury? It's really concerning. I think there's some quotes coming here as well from Rafa. So what's he said here? Just read this for now. Whilst Rublev is 30 love up, so he's very nearly won this first set. This is big news here that's just come in. Barcelona is a special tournament for me because it is my adopted club, and because playing at home is always a unique feeling. I'm still not ready. I continue my preparation process for the return. So yeah, I mean, you feel as though he must be kind of just wait for this rally to develop. Struff goes big there, the backhand, and Rublev puts a backhand wide. You feel as though he must be kind of having, continued setbacks, because you'd think he knows he's got the injury, and you'd kind of you say you're going to be out for a certain period of time, you target a tournament as your return. And for him to continually keep putting his return date back and saying, I'm pulling out of here, I'm pulling out of here, I'm pulling out of here, is really concerning. He obviously kind of just keeps having these injury setbacks. I mean, in terms of him playing the French at the moment, I don't know what if you had to put a percentage on it, what would you say, guys, in terms of Rafa even playing the French at the moment? Is it 50-50? I don't know. Or, on the other hand, maybe he just feels as though kind of playing all of these clay tournaments as he has done over the years might just be too much for his body now, and he's just trying to make sure that he's kind of in as optimal condition as he can be for the French Open, which might mean that he perhaps only plays just the 1 or 2 warm-up events. I don't know, but no, I feel like it's concerning. It seems though he was always planning on playing Barcelona. So yeah, it's a bit of a concern. By the way, Rublev hits a rasping backhand down the line, and we are at 40-30. Set point for Rublev, and the set's only been going for 25 minutes. So yeah, into a rally here. Big forehand cross court for Rublev. Struff cannot handle it. Forehand does the damage again for Rublev, and it is the first set in 26 minutes, 6-1 to Andrey Rublev. It's been a procession for Rublev so far. At the moment, he's on his way to a meeting with Fritz or Stefanos Tsitsipas. Monte Carlo looking lovely there in the sun. Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, your thoughts on Rafa pulling out of Barcelona. Yeah, it's big news that's just coming in the last few minutes. Rafa pulling out of his second clay court tournament of the season, and the wait to see him play competitively again goes on. Yeah, he's been so hampered, hasn't he, since last year, really, right? Since he kind of had that, won the Australian Open against Medvedev, and he had the good run in the Sunshine Double, didn't he? Lost the final to Taylor Fritz, and then kind of since then it's just been a tale of. I mean, he did win the French Open, of course, but he had the foot issue, didn't he? Which the ablation surgery actually actually seems to have cured. It hasn't been an issue for him, quite amazingly, considering that was something that hampered him, reportedly has hampered him for his whole career on and off. It really seemed as though that ablation surgery he had last year was make or break, really, in terms of his career. Surgery was successful. He's been able to play with no pain in his foot, seemingly. But, ironically, it's the other parts of his body that have been sort of letting him down since then. So, yeah, he's Wimbledon, pulled out injured. US Open, lost to Tiafoe, wasn't himself, wasn't fully fit. Australian Open this year, lost very early on, didn't he? Wasn't himself, hampered by injury. And how much longer can this really go on for Rafa? How much longer does he want to keep putting his body through the ringer like this? I mean, it's going to be a question that him and his team are going to be asking themselves, I think, aren't they? But yeah, let's hope for better news from Rafa over the next kind of week or so. And fingers crossed we'll see him in Madrid and Rome. Most importantly of all, of course, fingers crossed that we'll see him at the French. You do feel as though we'd have to play at least one tournament before the French to be sort of close to being competitive, really, at Roland Garros. So yeah, we're at the start of the second set now. First point has gone to Rublev, and Struff has hit a forehand wide. And I tell you, we're looking like the second set has started off in the same vein as the first. Errors from Struff. We're at love 30. Struff yet to hold his serve in the match so far. He's only won the first game of the match when he broke Rublev. So yeah, under pressure immediately on his serve here at the beginning of the second set. Rublev going big with the forehand. He's really finding his range here. It's another amazing winner, I think, from Rublev. Chair umpire might be coming down here. I thought that looked good, but it's been called long, actually, and it's Rublev just surveying it, seeing what he thinks, but he's accepting the call, and it is 15-30 on the Struff serve. Really, really important, I think, for Struff here to get on the board here at the start of the second set, to hold for the first time and just reset after that miserable first set. Serve and volley tactic there from Struff pays off as he rushes Rublev, and Rublev nets his backhand. So it's 30-all. Yeah. He's serving and volleying again. I thought he might do there, but Rublev looks like he might have control here, and he does. I think Rublev saw that coming, hit the return into the body. Struff was able to make the volley, but he was kind of caught there in no man's land, and Rublev had a pass that you would expect him to make. And it's now a break point for Rublev. Meadow saying the amazing run for Struff coming to an end. I mean, I think if it's looking that way at the moment, Meadow, right? This is a big point here to break right at the start of the second set. Big serve from Struff. The chair umpire might be coming down. He went big serve out wide. It's either an ace or a fault. Looks like it's been called in, and it is deuce. God, that was close. Kissed the line. The big serve from Struff. Again, he really, really needs this. I mean, if he can just sort of get on the board, get his get some sort of service rhythm going, he'll feel he still has a chance of turning this around. But he really needs to start playing and quick. That first set was over in a flash. So we're going to see. We've seen a fair bit of serve and volley from Struff in this game. Might be that change up like that. He was coming in again. Serve's gone long. Might be that he needs a bit of a change up like that to change the momentum in this match. Again, traded backhands. Oh, that was a very, very good deep forehand from Struff, and he wins the point. Hit it right to the baseline. Rublev unable to control his own forehand. It's advantage Struff. Feels like a really big game here. I think the longer it goes on, the more important it becomes almost to, for Struff especially, I think, to be able to come through this. I mean, he hasn't held his serve as yet. Only won the first game of the match, but he looked like he was coming in again there. But yeah, it's been called long, the serve. Meadow saying, haven't watched much of him, but it's always a tall order to keep the emotional, physical energy of a run like this up. Absolutely, yeah. We were talking about that before the match, I think, myself and John, about Struff. To see this point, see if he can win this game. It's going to be a cross-court forehand from Struff, and it's a winner, and that's big for Struff. Fist pump, and he will feel like he's in this match. He's still got a chance. Big game. Send a message to Rublev there. You're right, Meadow. Yeah, I think he's come through qualifying, isn't he? So he's already won 5 matches and can kind of go 2 ways, can't he? I think can that play to his advantage? I think particularly in the early rounds, maybe it can. When you're a qualifier, you come through. You can sort of catch 1 or 2 of the players who are coming into the first round. You can maybe catch 1 or 2 of those players cold, can't you? If you've got that momentum and you've been playing a few matches. But perhaps as the further the tournament goes, and it can maybe become a bit of a disadvantage where there might be that physical and that mental fatigue, particularly when you start coming up against the really top guys, right, at the latter stage of the tournament. We might just have been seeing a bit of that from Struff in that first set. But if he can make this competitive, it might be that the adrenaline perhaps of the occasion can kind of hopefully see that he's at least able to make this more competitive than it was in the first set. But Rublev is just looking very, very sprightly today so far. Going to try and get this the stats for the matchup so far as well, if we can. Good, nice cross-court backhand from Rublev. Struff stays in the point with a nice slice. But again, it's just an amazing forehand winner from Rublev. His forehand is really firing today. There was no power in that backhand from Struff. He just sort of sliced it back. Rublev had to generate all of his own power. And he did it sublimely. Meadow, his body language would seem to say he's up for it, though. Yeah, me too. I love that fist pump. Yeah. I say that was kind of a message to Rublev, wasn't it? That, I'm still here. I still believe. I'm not going anywhere right now. It's had some. If we just have to have a look at the Struff's run to the quarterfinals so far. Of course, saying that he does have that good record at Monte Carlo, where he's reached the round of 16 twice before. This is his best run, quarterfinals. He's just applying a bit of pressure here to the Rublev serve. So a couple of errors from Rublev means it's 40-30. But yeah, so I mean, Struff beat Verilas. He beat Rusevori as well in the final round of qualifying, which was a big win, 6-love in the third set there. Then he beat Ramos Vinales, another clay court specialist. Beat Diminor for also just 5 games, which surprised me. And Rublev goes wide of a backhand. And we are at deuce. And this is just the wonders of tennis, right? You can look so in control, to have come through a tight game, and then the momentum, has it maybe started to switch? Rublev is getting frustrated. It's juice. Rublev gets that point. Fist pump from Rublev. Advantage for the Russian. Hit the like button, guys. We're going to be providing coverage all day really of the quarterfinals in Monte Carlo. First one of the day, Rublev Struff. Second serve here for Struff to look at. We're trading backhands again. Backhand to backhand. Still backhand to backhand. No change of pace from either yet. Slice there from Struff. Rublev runs around, takes the forehand cross court. Slice from Struff. Cross court from Rublev. Hits the net. And it's the first meltdown, shall we say, from Rublev. Really, really angry with himself there. Back to juice. And this is where Rublev can really let himself down, right? You know, he can complete control of the match. Okay, he made a couple of errors. That can happen. But he just gets so frustrated with himself. Even now, you know, looking at the score, you know, he's in control of the match, really. But, you know, it's looking at him on the court, you'd think he'd lost the first set 6-1. Just gets so frustrated with himself. Meadow saying the forehand long at 40-15 seemed to miss by a whisker for Rublev. Absolutely, yeah. Very slim margins, as Meadow saying. Yeah, it certainly is. Again, a second serve for Struff to look at. Big backhand down the line by Rublev, and he holds. That seemed like that was important for the Russian because it looked like there could have been a slight change in momentum there potentially. But Struff is at least in this, and he's making these games competitive now, which wasn't the case at all in the opening set. So yeah, of course, this tournament is the first Masters 1000, isn't it, of the clay season? Clay season really packed out. You know, we have three Masters 1000s all before the French Open. So it's really an opportunity for these guys to amass a lot of ranking points, improve their seeding before the French. Struff goes long there. Guys, let us know what your thoughts are for the French Open as well. Of course, we're sort of building up to Roland Garros, aren't we? Seems like it could be potentially a bit more open this year, maybe than previous years. Seeing with Rafa's injury troubles. I mean, we seem to always be saying this, you know, don't we, about kind of Rafa and the French, but it does seem as though this is it's at even more of the worrying end of the spectrum for Rafa, right? These injury troubles compared to where he's been before the French over the last few years. I mean, I think going into the French, obviously Novak will fancy his chances, won't he? As will Alcaraz if he can get himself fit. Tsitsipas always shows up at Roland Garros. You've got last year's finalist Casper Ruud. We'll feel he's in with a chance. Last year's quarter-finalist Holger Rune will also feel he has a chance. So yeah, there's a few players who will might potentially be in the mix for the French, maybe. Anyway, it's a double fault here from Struff. It's 15:30, so this is a sniff, isn't it? This is a sniff for Rublev here. Sniff of a break. Certainly hanging in, Struff. Showing a bit of fight here, John. Struff is. Rublev's already been getting frustrated with himself in the previous game. Goes long with a serve here. Just gonna play this point out. It seems like quite a big point. Rublev is on the attack here with his forehand. Struff can't get the forehand over the net, and it's 2 break points for Rublev. Rublev immediately putting pressure back on the Struff serve. I've been told he will continue to gain momentum the further into the clay season we go. Yeah, potentially, Meadow. I mean, he's obviously in phenomenal form, isn't he? He has been in phenomenal form throughout the hard court swing since the Aussie Open. He's got a lot of matches behind him, and he's got that winning feeling. Big serve from Struff down the tee saves one of the break points. Meadow saying, can Zverev regain the clay form in time? It's going to be interesting to see, isn't it? There is still time for him to do that potentially before the French. Could he force his way into the mix? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It might be a bit early for him this year since the injury, but we shall see. Just going to play this point out. So we're into a rally. It's a big forehand from Struff, and it's gone. I believe it may have gone long here. Both players are having a look. Umpire's coming down. I'm not sure what's happened here. It may be that I think it's been called good. Oh, Hawkeye's showing it as long, and we're back at deuce. So the Hawkeye said it was wide, but it was called good, and so we're back at deuce. A bit of controversy there potentially. And it's a poor backhand from Struff, so it may not matter. It may not actually matter because Rublev has another break point anyway here. So a slight reprieve for Struff, but is he going to be able to take advantage of that? Break point for Rublev. Matthew saying might be recency bias, but it does have that feel we might see a new champion at Roland Garros. Potentially, but I guess it's still kind of, we're still over a month away, right, from the start, and things can change a lot. Big serve from Struff, by the way, to save a break point. I mean, we've still got to see how Novak performs over the next couple of tournaments. I think Novak's, especially if Rafa's not fit or not even there potentially, Novak's really going to fancy his chances. But yeah, love to see kind of. I think we all would love to see an Alcaraz Djokovic match at the French, wouldn't we? That would be something to behold and something to really look forward to. But yeah, back at deuce here. Baseline rally here. Backhand to back, a big backhand from Struff there. And again, the umpire's coming down. My thought was that was good. Looks like it was good. So we are, back at deuce, I believe that makes it. Matthew also saying that Zverev doesn't look too far away, still reticent to slide fully, but he should be in the mix. You've got him in the mix, Matthew, have you? Yeah, potentially. And I mean, God, and that's been shown out as well. Wow. So Struff really getting seemingly a bit of good fortune here. I mean, of course, the Hawkeye is never 100% accurate, is it? But it's twice it's shown that Struff's shots have been out, but they've both been called good by the umpire and then confirmed when he's come down. So yeah, if Struff can get through this game, this will be big, and I'm not sure Rublev will be very happy about these calls. Serve and volley there from Struff gets him to advantage. Yeah, I mean, I guess with the upcoming Masters still, French Open, of course, best of 5, right? It will give Zverev the opportunity to play his way in, build confidence, build fitness. It's probably not even really about fitness now, is it? It's just about potentially kind of having that, kind of what's the word? When you're sort of able to play more off instinct, double fault. Oh, serve and volley there from Struff, and he's hit it into the net. So we're at deuce. Meadow saying, I'm curious if Rafa would play the French if he's below 100% to start for 85 or 90. Would he just wait for the grass? I think if Rafa's 85 or 90% fit, I think he's playing the French Open. to be honest. And I think you could argue that if he's 85 or 90% fit, he'd still have a chance of winning it, right? But potentially not with Djokovic and Alcaraz around. But I think if he's 85 or 90, I think he's probably playing. To be honest, I mean, he might even be thinking this will be his last chance to play the French potentially. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's a big forehand there from Rublev, and he's got a break point again. Yeah, and Matthew's kind of agreeing there as well. Yeah, I just don't think it's even possible that he's going to be at 100% fit, right? I mean, particularly as he hasn't played since the Aussie Open. Yeah. Meadow saying, what percentage could he be at now to be delaying Barcelona? Yeah, I mean, that's another point, isn't it? If Roland Garros was say next week, would Rafa be playing? Potentially. I mean, we don't know enough about the injury, really, do we? It's a big serve, by the way, from Struff to get us back to deuce. We don't know really enough about the injury, I think, but I guess the suspicion would be that if Roland Garros was next week, then Rafa would be playing. Yeah, I don't know. But this is a long game here. This is a big game between Rublev and Struff. So we had in the first set, Rublev absolutely flew through the games, and now we've had a couple of deuces here in this second set. And this game's been going for 9 minutes. Okay, so yeah, a bit of a switch around here in terms of length of games. And we've got a backhand. We've got a baseline rally here. Backhand for Rublev down the line goes wide. Rublev is getting annoyed of himself again, and it's advantage Struff. I like it, Meadow. Can you? He must have him on must have Tony Nadal on speed dial now, John. No. Yeah, you must have some inside knowledge for us. Can you call him up and ask him what percentage you'd have to be to play the French? Me, Meadow, and Matthew are, and I'm sure there are many more out there. Desperately wanting to know the answer to that question. It's a big forehand from Struff, and he holds again. Another big hold from the German. Keeps him fighting in this match and keeps his nose ahead in the second set. And I guess that's probably a bit more. The last 3 games have maybe been a bit more like what we might have expected from this match, right? In that first set, kind of quite close games, sort of nip and tuck. Yeah, that's good play from Struff to sort of keep his nose in front. So yeah, kind of the dust just settling really on that news this morning that John kindly broke for us. That Rafa has pulled out of Barcelona. Yeah, it's disappointing, I'm sure, for Rafa fans, but it has to be the big picture now as well, doesn't it? It has to be kind of all eyes on the French Open, really. So if he's maximising his chances of playing at the French, then it's completely understandable. But I do think that it's not guaranteed by any means that he'll be at the French. Considering how long he's been out, considering the amount of injury troubles he's had over the last year, considering he keeps putting his start date or his return date back. Just showing some images of Bjorn Borg there as well, just walking around the Monte Carlo Country Club. Anyone in the comments been to Monte Carlo, by the way, to see the tennis? It really does seem like a lovely place to sort of visit to watch tennis. Lovely backdrop with the sea in the background. The guy that's just escorting Bjorn Borg there looks a bit like Jurgen Klopp. I don't think it is Jurgen. He's not out of work yet. He's still just clinging on to his Liverpool job. So yeah, there was nice shots of Bjorn Borg there. So yeah, early stages of the first quarter-final of the first Masters 1000 of the clay court season. So it's an exciting period of the year, isn't it? There's a lot of tennis kind of in front of us, a lot of tennis to watch. Always loved this time of year actually with these you know it almost feels like there's a Masters 1000 every week leading up to the French. So it's a really good time of year. Yeah, I'm not sure my kind of well, I'm not too keen on the extended Masters 1000 formats that we saw in the Sunshine Swing. I know we've got those again, haven't we? For Madrid and for Rome. And yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it kind of takes something away, really. Maybe we need to see it, you know, over a longer period of time. Maybe in a year or two's time. My opinion might be different, but I think it kind of takes something away, and it just can kind of elongate the tournament. I think, and I think for Grand Slams, it's fine. You know, you have 2 weeks, and everybody knows that. And you know, when it gets to the latter stages of the tournament, there are less games, of course, and the stakes are absolutely huge. I think with the Masters, it was one of the charms for me was kind of having those, you know, a day like today, for instance, you know, you've got sort of 4 quarterfinals in one day, and there's a whole lot of tennis, and you can kind of, you know, you can dip in and out, or you can sit and watch tennis for 10 hours if you want to. You know, it's whereas when they elongate the tournament, you know, you have this a bit. You might have 2 quarterfinals today, 2 tomorrow. I think it's just nice having a bit of a different feel to a Grand Slam. So I do think we're losing something, you know, reverting to this format for the Masters. Meadows kind of agreeing. He's saying that he prefers the intensity of the 1 week format. Great for viewers. Yeah, I think that's what I was just saying. Really, yeah, absolutely agree. Don't dilute the entertainment value. Let the Grand Slams be unique with a 2 week format. Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's kind of what, you know, it's great having that variety, right, and that uniqueness. You know, you've got, you know, 2 weeks, 4 times a year. You've got the Grand Slams, you know, and they sort of, you know, they start off absolutely packed, don't they? And they build up to the second week when there's less matches. The stakes are so high. And these Masters, yeah, what kind of, for me, one of the, you know, unique appeals of them was the fact that, you know, it was a packed schedule, you know, all the way through, really. There was great tennis everywhere you look. It does sort of dilute it a little bit for me, you know. And even I think we saw in the Sunshine Swing as well, you know, you're kind of almost like the tournament started, but you're like, has it really started? You know, you've kind of got, it's a really sort of like spread out opening as well. So you're like, okay, well, it's day 3 actually of Miami, but you know, when do I actually kind of want to, you know, take notice? And when are the actual kind of, you know, matches that I want to see? It doesn't sort of start off with a bang. I think it can sort of start off a bit of a damp squib potentially when they're the longer formats. But let's see. You know, let's sort of give them a chance and see. I don't think we're going to go back actually to the previous formats now. I think it's you know, it's going to be probably a financial and economic decision, isn't it? But anyway, sorry, got sidetracked a bit there. So Rublev is held fairly comfortably. We're at 2-2. We're on serve and nip and tuck here in the second set. So we've got a few more viewers right now. So please hit that like button if you can, guys. Comment, you know, in the comments who you think is kind of going to come through. Who's going to come through this match? Who's going to come through Monte Carlo and take the title? Is it going to be Steph, his 3rd title in a row? Is it going to be Sinner? Is it going to be Rune? Is it going to be Medvedev? Is it going to be Rublev? Is it going to be Mazzetti? Is it going to be Fritz? I'm sure I missed anybody there. Is it going to be Struff? So yeah, and let us know in the comments, guys, as well, who's going to come through. Ultimately, you know, these tournaments are huge in their own right, aren't they? But we are leading up to the French Open. Who's going to come through? Roland Garros as well. That's a double fault from Struff. We're at 15:30. Again, in the comments if you can on the Rafa news today. Thoughts on that? Rafa out of Barcelona. which, certainly the biggest tennis story of the day so far. Just in the early stages of these Monte Carlo quarterfinals. Backhand to backhand rally here. And that looks like it's gone long from Rublev, and we're at 30, or wide, should I say. Meadow saying he's got the feeling it's going to be a Russian. If not, then Fritz. Okay, so you think kind of Rublev, Medvedev. Yeah, I mean, I think if Rublev comes through this, he's kind of got a good chance, hasn't he? His forehand is absolutely superb in that first set. Serve and volley here from Struff. Oh, and that's a lovely touch. I thought he kind of got up to the net pretty slowly there, actually, Struff. And actually, kind of, it wasn't a serve and volley, it was a serve and half volley. Well, not even a serve and half volley, actually. It was just a serve and sort of little drop shot at the net. Lovely touch from the German there. And it's 40-30. Long from Struff, he was coming in again there, serve and volley. Or Rublev attacking the second serve with a big forehand. Struff's recovered well. And we're going cross court, forehand to forehand. Bit of a miss hit there from Struff, and Rublev takes full advantage of the short ball with a clinical forehand. Matthew here. Have you read the Yannick Schneider tweets about Zverev? Zverev spoke to Sky Germany post-match and was very critical of Medis' behaviour. Haven't actually, Matthew. I will just check that out, actually. That was last night's match, wasn't it? I haven't had a chance to sort of see that as yet. Serve and volley here from Struff. That's a wonderful volley. Brilliant control there on the volley. Advantage Struff. Just having a look here. Yeah, so there was a bit of aggro, was there? A bit of tennis aggro yesterday. Bit of needle. Meadow saying he was wondering why their handshake was so cold. Okay, just getting it up now. So yeah, he's one of the most unfair players in the world. Zverev slams Medvedev, accuses him of gamesmanship. Wow, strong words from the German. Just read those quotes in a second for you guys. Double fault from Struff there. He didn't need that. So yeah, Zverev said he's one of the most unfair players in the world. I take fair play and sportsmanship very serious. He does not. He takes a toilet break when it's not possible anymore. There are 1,000 situations in which he feels that I start to play better and in which he tries to do something every time. I'm extremely disappointed from him as an athlete. Very strong. You can see this point. Struff nets a backhand, so it's advantage Rublev here for the break point. Just going to continue reading this Zverev quote. Of course, you can argue that it's not good form from me that I got distracted. This should not happen to me, and it's totally my fault. And it really was bad from my side. But still, I feel fair play should always be part of sports. Yeah, there's some very angry comments there from Alexander Zverev. Then I'm going to play this point out. Break point for Rublev here, and Struff goes long with the first serve. Sorry, so Rublev has a second serve to look at. Oh, and he mistimed it completely, shanked it, and here come the recriminations for Rublev, muttering to himself, but it's juice. Meadow said from what he saw, Medi was just taunting the overzealous crowd. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it, so I can't comment on that, guys. But sounds like saltiness to me from Zverev. Does sound a bit salty, right? I mean, the match was close, right? Looking at the score, it could have gone either way. So I'm not sure how much of an impact that all of that stuff actually had. Does sound potentially like a bit of sour grapes from Zverev, but let us know in the comments, guys. That's a big backhand down the line from Struff. Yeah, John, these games do seem to be lasting forever. Complete sea change from the first set, which was over in a flash. All of Struff's service games in particular have been battles. He really is holding on to his serve, kind of courageously at the moment. But I don't know how much of how much pressure his serve can keep taking like this. But he's held for the 3rd time in a row, and it's 3-2. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it, between Medvedev and Zverev? So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what Medvedev has to say about that. Medvedev's certainly not the kind of guy that seems to forget things like that. I'm sure we will hear him refer to those Zverev quotes at some point, possibly before their next play or when he gets asked about it, or even, hypothetically, if he does get to the final, I wonder whether he might have something to say in the presentation speech. He likes kind of livening those final presentation speeches up, doesn't he? With some interesting quotes. So yeah, I'm just going to take a 2-minute toilet break. That's okay, John. I don't know if you can hear me, but potentially not. I'll hang around for a moment then until John can hear. So Matthew says that I think a lot of players would react the same. You're desperate for a big comeback win, and twice you'd come painfully close, and the same opponent denies you. It was also late at night after 3 hours. Okay. Medi even apologised to the net about his behaviour. This is what was reported anyway. So yeah, as you say, Matthew, it sounds like emotions running high, potentially. But if he's apologised as well, I don't know. I would need to sort of see it again as well myself. But yeah, I don't know. I think if such a close match, if Zverev comes through that, right, then potentially doesn't mention this, or I'm sure if he does mention it, it's in not quite as quite in a highly critical way as he did there. Certainly not in as angry a way as it seemed as though he was in that press conference. Meadows not a fan of the toilet break. I mean, Meadows, as you heard there, I was reaching out to John for a toilet break, but he's not responding. So we've got our own toilet gate here on Talking Tennis. Yeah, there needs to be a bit more of a hard and fast rule about that, right? I mean, the original toilet gate, I guess, was the 2021 US Open between Tsitsipas and Murray, wasn't it? When Murray accused Tsitsipas of going off and taking his time, and yeah. So it's been going on for a while. This toilet business. Oh, you're not throwing you're not throwing shade at me, Meadow. Okay, I can understand. It's Jamie Meadow. My name is. So we've got last Thursday. We've got a chance here for Struff, but yeah, Meadow. Rublev gets that. It's 15:30. Yeah, it's Jamie Meadow. So I've known John for years actually. We went to uni together. So yeah, known John for some time, pre Talking Tennis days. But yeah, hit the like button, guys. Comment. Thank you, Matthew. Right, absolute horrendous conditions here. I didn't. Silk is like a Victorian workhouse boss. No toilet breaks allowed. I'll tell you what, Matthew and Meadow, I think I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands at the next change of ends. Unfortunately, and have to just kind of go rogue and relieve myself. Yeah, this certainly wasn't discussed in the Talking Tennis contract of employment. Here we go. So 30 all, this is a big point. Rublev going fairly big on the forehand, and Struff can't quite live with it. And it's 40-30. So yeah, so, sounds like there was a salty match last night. Big serve from Rublev, 3-3. Sounds like there was a salty match last night between Medvedev and Zverev. Are we going to get any salt today? Any niggle today? In any of the quarterfinals? I mean, Medi against Rune potentially. Matthew, Jamie, whatever you do, please don't strike. There's too much of that in this country. Can't have you as well. Yeah, no, I hear that, Matthew. There's a lot of unhappy workers at the moment, right? Unfortunately, us contributors on Talking Tennis, we haven't set up our own union as yet. So I don't think we've kind of discussed striking. But you put the idea there. I mean, this is not okay, John, letting us work in these conditions. But no, I'm not going to strike. Don't worry. I'll just go off at the next change of ends. Hopefully, we don't have a juice that goes on for for 10 minutes again on the Struff serve. To be honest, that's looking a bit less likely at the moment because we're at love 30 on the Rublev serve. So maybe go to HR. Yeah, I'm going to have to take this further actually. Right, so we're at love 30 and we're on a second serve as well. This is a chance for Rublev. Struff's been hanging on to his serve in this set. Is he going to be able to do the same here? Oh, it's a forehand long. I was going to say that second serve looked like quite a weak and laboured second serve actually, and the forehand looked potentially pretty weary as well. So yeah, it's love 40 now for Rublev. He's got 3 break points. Has the pressure of holding on to his serve in these last 3 games. Is it going to prove too much here? And it's a second serve as well. Rublev looking nailed on here to get the break. It's backhand to backhand. It's a backhand up the line for Rublev. It's a big backhand up the line for Rublev. And he breaks and he roars and it's 4-3 and he's nearly there. And I am just going to nip to the loo and I'll be back with you guys very, very shortly. And we are back, guys, just in time for the for the first point of this game. Struff's coming in attacking, and it's love 15. A couple of new comments there. Sorry for that break in play, guys. Another toilet fiasco, as has been mentioned in the comments. And John is back. So he tipped Sinner at the beginning. It's not looking too bad at the moment. Yep. He tipped Sinner at the start of the tournament. Okay. Yeah. Looking good. Fancy him against Mazzetti, wouldn't you? And then even potentially as well in the semi-final, if he wins that, he'll be playing against Medvedev or Rune. Would need to be favourite in that potentially to reach the final as well. Big forehand +1 there for Rublev, so it's 30-15. Couple of other comments that we hadn't looked at. So Matthew saying Medi versus Rune so hard to call, and Medi finishing so late play a factor. Absolutely, yeah, potentially could do. I think that's going to be a tight one. Really looking forward to that one. Meadow saying Struff service games over double the average length. Absolutely, yeah. The Struff previous to that, the first 3 Struff games of this set was so long in duration, and he was hanging on, and eventually I think the pressure told, and that enabled Rublev to get the break. He's 40-15 up here as well. He's actually very close to seeing this match off. Thanks for the comments, guys. Keep them coming. Meadow saying he has a hard time seeing Sinner make back-to-back Masters finals. And he's also saying it would be a great step for him to do so. Absolutely, yeah, it would be. Does feel as though he's making sort of incremental improvements, doesn't it, Yannick Sinner, sort of bit by bit. Backhand goes wide there from Rublev. And we're back at deuce. So Struff still hanging in there. He's got a sniff here of a potential break. Comment from John. Given that you were there, Jamie, how does this match rank compared to the 2008 Wimbledon final? I think it's not quite there yet, John. But there's the potential for it to run it close if we can get into a third set. But yeah, no, it's been this second set's been competitive, but yeah, it's been quite error strewn, really, particularly the first set, right? Error strewn from Struff. Then we've really had both players playing well at the same time. The quality overall of the match has been a bit up and down. But we actually have a break point here for Struff to break straight back. And he does. He breaks straight back. Now, that wasn't in the script. Certainly didn't see that coming. And Rublev is currently just launching a torrent of self-hatred again. He's really, really angry with himself. He doesn't need to do this. It's frustrating. He's been broken straight back, but he's a setup. It's 4-all. He's 2 games away from winning. I just don't see how that can be helpful for him. And I don't understand how he hasn't kind of eradicated this, really extreme anger from his, or at least tried to kind of eradicate it a bit, because it can't be helpful. Mind you, he's hit a fantastic forehand down the line there, another great backhand, and it's love 15, so he's knocking on the door almost immediately. Don't know if you're there again, John, but there was just a bit of a discussion between me, Meadow, and Matthew about kind of the conditions of employment here at Talking Tennis and HR. There was a bit of a toilet gate. I couldn't go to the toilet, and I was getting a lot of sympathy in the comments. Big serve and volley here from Struff, but Rublev passes him. You didn't quite do enough with the backhand volley there, Struff, but it was a very, very good passing shot from Rublev. You don't really want to be playing into Rublev's forehand, do you, on the approach? But anyway, we're at love 30. So Struff's serve is immediately under threat here, having just broken straight back. Rublev has broken a number of times today. Struff's just not been able to hold serve consistently. Or Rublev nets the backhand there, which is going to do little to brighten the Russians' mood at the moment. He's close to securing this, Rublev. He's close to the win, but he's not happy with himself. He's playing on the edge at the moment, and you just feel if Struff could sort of poke his nose in front here at 5-4, Rublev could have a total meltdown if he ends up losing this set. It's a backhand down the line from Struff. It's a cross court from Rublev into the net, and Struff is back at 30-all. Building up to a bit of drama in this match. It's just on a bit of a Rublev certainly on a bit of a knife edge, but also this this set's just on a bit of a knife edge at the moment. 4-all, 30-all, big points here. A wild first serve there from Struff, which goes long and wide. It's a second serve in, forehand cross court from Rublev, forehand cross court from Struff, forehand cross court winner from Struff, 40-30. Lovely shot. Just sort of wrong-footed Rublev slightly there and kind of got a great angle on that forehand. Did Struff. Sort of whipped it. John knows all about forehand topspin like that, as we've seen from his skills being displayed at the Rafa Nadal Tennis Academy on his videos that he's posted. Hit the like button, guys. Comment, subscribe. Struff holds. It's 5-4. He pumps the air. This is good from Struff. This is good fighting spirit being shown. He could have gone away, but he didn't. At 4-3, he broke back. He held serve. It's now 5-4. Rublev is going to be under pressure here, serving to stay in it. Struff will feel he has a chance here, considering Rublev has been getting very, very frustrated with himself. What's your favourite Masters 1000 on the clay, guys? Let us know. Monte Carlo, Madrid, Rome. Which of those tournaments do you prefer? I've always liked Monte Carlo, I guess just for the backdrop, for the setting. I've not been to any of them, unfortunately, but would love to. There's also something quite iconic, isn't there? And quite, something iconic about Rome, I think. And it always feels like a really, really big event, just kind of being, on the eve of almost on the eve, but certainly very close to the start of the French. Of course, Madrid's an interesting one as well. You remember we had the experiment with the blue clay back in, I don't know when that was now. Was that 2009 maybe? 2010, around that time we had the blue clay in Madrid. Didn't go down well with the players, and they swiftly went back to the usual colour that we see here. The magic box over there in Madrid. Rublev serving to stay in the set here at 4-5. Big serve down the tee. As John's been saying, I've got to get off to play paddle at 12 o'clock. Although the forecast is not amazing here. It's forecasted to rain. It's been staying away so far, so let's see how that goes. More importantly, Struff is coming into the net here. He's approached and he's finished it off, and it's 15-0, and he's punched the net, punched the net, he's punched the air. And he believes he can break here. So John is off to Barcelona and Madrid to bring you content from the two events next week. It's amazing, but he's looking forward to that. That's an aggressive forehand from Rublev, which has him kind of in control of the point, but Struff's done a good defensive shot, and we're sort of back at neutral in the rally now. Rublev slightly on top again with a forehand, but Struff has got us back to neutral. Rublev sort of sending him a bit there from side to side, and he gets the point, and it's 30-15. And of course, John's already been in Estoril in last week. You might have seen some of his coverage there, interviewing the likes of Dominic Thiem and Marco Cecchinato as well. He'll be in Barcelona next week and Madrid the week after that. So yeah, please subscribe, guys, to see the coverage from those two tournaments. As Struff had an opportunity there on the second serve of Rublev, but he's netted the backhand. It's looking like Rublev is in control of this game at 40-15. Yeah, and he does. He holds, and it's 5-all. I'm just looking at some of the stats here. So it's 5-all in the second set. We're really getting down to the nitty-gritty business end of this set. Rublev leads in terms of winners 19-16. Not too surprising. 18 unforced errors from the German compared to 11 for Struff. Quite a big difference in terms of the service points won. I think that's kind of been one of the big differences today as well. Only 58% of first serve points, sorry, 59% of first serve points won for Struff compared to 71% for the Russian. Only 33% of second serve points won for Struff compared to 43% for the Russian. Yeah. So anyway, here we are in this game. 15-love, Struff. Goes long with the first serve. John is saying he didn't see this come back from Struff. Yeah, I mean, he's let's just see this point play out. It's a big forehand down the line from Struff, and it's 30-love. He's really shown some fighting spirit, actually, particularly in the early games of this set. Rublev was sort of knocking on the door. Struff held strong. Went to break down as well in this second set. Managed to didn't see that coming at with Rublev a break up at 4-3, but he sort of pulled it out of nowhere. I'd say it was kind of a mixture really of sort of Rublev almost beating himself and Struff staying in there, giving himself a chance. But yeah, you can see the frustration there with Rublev. He probably feels as though he should have maybe seen this match off already, considering how on top he has been overall. But Struff has a chance now. He has a chance of this set, and dare I say it, if he wins this set, anything can happen. I mean, yeah, he's very nearly guaranteed himself at least a tie break in this set, and he has done. Rublev nets the return. It's 6-5. Rublev will again serve to stay in this second set. Trying to get some stats on the serve and volley, but I can't find that on here. It really feels like Struff has served and volleyed a fair bit, but it's not. Can't get any stats there. Total points won. Rublev is 12 up, 67-55. Keep the comments coming, guys. Who do you see coming through this second set? I think it's Struff's really got a fighting chance now. He's just tightened up. I think Rublev's level has dropped for sure. Rublev's forehand was absolutely on fire first set. Early stages of the second set as well. I don't think he probably necessarily couldn't really keep that level up. Struff's level was also improved markedly too, so it's been a mixture of both really. And at the moment, you'd say Struff is the slightly better player. Meadow says that Rublev in tie breaks is always anxiety inducing. I forget his record in tie breaks though. Oh, I'm not too sure, guys. Let us know in the comments. Rublev in tie breaks is always anxiety inducing. Is that for kind of the emotional side of things as well? Or yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not sure what his overall record is in tie breaks sort of this year, or if anybody does know, let us know. Mind you, Struff is he's got his eyes kind of more firmly positioned on maybe taking this set before the tie break. Return winner there, it's love 15. Big serve from Rublev down the tee though, and it's 15-all. Oh, it's another good serve from Rublev. He's pulled those serves out when he has needed them. And it is 30-15. He's going to need to serve like that if we do go to a tie break, right? Oh, double fault there, I think, from Rublev. Yeah. Umpire's coming down to have a look, but yep, it's 30-all. Now this is a sniff at the set for Struff. What's going to happen here? First serve into the net from Rublev. It does seem as though Rublev's first serve percentage really has come down. Big second serve though, and Struff can't return it on the backhand side. It was a great second serve from Rublev, really was. And it's 40-30 now. Almost got a tie break, guys. The first quarterfinal of the day, first of four. Took a while to get going this set, but it's finally sort of catching a bit of fire here. Took a while to get going this match overall, I should say. Rublev with another double fault, and it's juice. He really seems to be kind of like lapsing in terms of his concentration right now. Getting rid of himself. Body language isn't good. Yeah, but that's a good serve from Rublev. He needed that one, and it's advantage to the Russian. Are we going to get a tie break? Let's see. Second serve. Oh, poor from Struff. He nets the backhand on the second serve, and we do have a tie break in the second set. What's going to happen, guys? What's going to happen? I'm going to go for Rublev to take it 7-5. I think it's going to be a close one, but I think Rublev is just going to come through. What do we think, guys? Hit the comments. Who's going to come through the tie break? What's the score going to be? Struff will fancy his chances. I mean, he's fought back from 4-3 in a breakdown. And he's serving first here, first point of the tie break. Goes long with his first serve. Now we are into a rally. Big, long, deep forehand from Rublev sets up a lovely backhand cross court. And Rublev gets the first mini break. And almost in keeping with how the match has been going, you know, Rublev gets off on the front foot and starts the tie break quickly. Meadow, you're going for the same. You're going 7-5. Any other differences out there? Anybody else with any other predictions? Anybody thinking Struff's going to do this? Into a rally here. Great pickup from Rublev. Forehand cross court. He's got Struff on the run again, and it's 2-love to Rublev. Really, really good so far in this tie break from Andrey. Yeah, the forehand's really come into play here. Just needs to keep his cool. Got to let. And he's got a second serve to look at, Struff. He went up the tee there, Rublev. Only halfway up the net, though. What's Struff going to do on the second serve? Deep backhand, and it forces Rublev into an error. And it is 2-1. And the mini break has been redeemed by the German. Just seems so important that Rublev gets his first serve in, right? When he gets his first serve in, it sets him up for the point. Struff been able to attack that second serve in the second set. Struff needs these 2 points on his serve, you would think. He gets one of them with a really fantastic ace out wide. Clinical. Lovely serve. It's 2-2. Sure if John's watching this tie break, but he's missing a bit of drama here. It's nip and tuck in this second set. Goes long up the tee with the first serve. Struff should give Rublev a bit of an opportunity here potentially. He's coming in on the second serve, and Rublev has hit it long. Wow, that was surprising. So Struff served and volleyed on the second serve. Hit a decent volley back, but really you would expect Rublev to have made that. He could have gone for the lob, he could have gone either side, but he went long, mishit the pass, and Rublev serving at 2-3 in the tie break. So we've had a let there. 3 straight points for the German. Just over an hour and a half gone in the quarterfinal here in Monte Carlo. Wild first serve from Rublev. I think it may have missed the whole court there. Chance here. Oh, but it was a good second serve from Rublev again. Deep onto the Struff backhand. Struff nets the backhand. 3-3. Change of ends in this tie break. You can really feel the tension in the air. I can feel it in Talking Tennis Towers. This is tense. Fair play to Struff. Losing that second set 6-1, being a breakdown in the second set, but he's really continued fighting, and I guess he's got that confidence, isn't he? 5 straight wins. 5 straight wins in the last few days, in Monte Carlo, and he's refusing to be beaten here at the moment. It's 3-3. Big serve from Rublev out wide, which Struff can't return. So he's 4-3 up, just keeps his nose in front. Does Andrey. Minor Meadows' 7-5 prediction is still looking like it could be on, potentially. The fault from Struff. Is he going to come in on the second serve as he did previously? Oh, he's not, because he hits a double fault at the most inopportune time. It's 3-5. Double fault from Struff when he least would have wanted it. Rublev has the mini break again, sorry. And he's 2 points from victory. Hit the subscribe button, as John's saying. Not quite sure what's going on here, actually. Just going to turn the sound on a moment. Rublev has something in his eye, maybe. Yeah, Struff won't be too happy with this little break, but looks like he's got something in his eye. Rublev that he's just attending to. He's okay. We're off to go again. Looks like he's sorted it. Certainly don't want something in your eye when you're at this point in a tie break, right? In a Masters 1000 quarterfinal. It's Struff serving at 3-5. Oh, and Rublev frames the return, or completely shanks the return. I don't know how much the eye problem played into anything there, but it's 5-4 anyway. Still has the mini break. 2 serves here will do it for Rublev. But it's been so nip and tuck in the last half an hour or so that hard to know what will happen here. Needs a first serve, Rublev. Gets a first serve, gets an ace out wide, and it's 2 match points for the Russian. 6-4 for Rublev. That was big. And it is 2 match points, as we say. Rublev went for the out wide serve, clipped the top of the net. It's the second serve here. Into the forehand of Struff, forehand to forehand here, forehand to forehand. Quite a neutral rally so far. Who's going to blink first? Still forehand to forehand. Oh, he's got a change of direction up the line from Struff, and Struff saves it. That was very, very brave and courageous from Struff. Wonderful shot down the line. They were just trading forehands cross court, and it was about who was going to blink first, who was going to take a risk first. It was Struff that did it, and it's 5-6. So he's got the mini break back, but it's still a match point for Rublev. And he's got, and that's it. Rublev takes it. Came into the net there, Struff, but he couldn't make the half volley. Great return from Rublev at his feet. And Rublev takes it. 6-1, 7-6. Deservedly so in the end, really. But fair play to Struff. I think he kind of put up a really good fight. Should be proud of his effort there in the second set. But Meadow, what did I say? 7-5 in the tie-break. Let's just call us Nostradamus, Meadow and I. Thank you, John. Fully enjoyed that. I should have put my prediction in the chat actually, but got one there, Meadow. 7-5. So thank you guys for joining us today. I'm just going to play a video for you guys. See you soon. That was the first quarter final, going to Andrey Rublev 6-1, 7-6. Thanks for joining us. Please join us later on with John and some of the rest of the guys for the rest of the coverage. I may just end the broadcast because I'm not sure where the video is. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you soon.